No, you trying to kill me.
I'm gonna improvise on my ad, like on my ad lib.
Yeah, you trying to kill me.
Yo, bring that back, boy. Nobody's safe. Hold up. Hold up. Nobody's safe. Hold up. Hold up. Nobody's safe.
Hey.
Hold up.
Hey. Alright, put this right
Nobody's
here.
safe.
Alright,
Hold up.
season.
Yeah.
Yo,
Jesus Christ.
bring that back,
Sync
boy.
in 3,
Nobody's safe.
2, 1. Clap. Clap. Dang. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what the intro was last time. If you're looking for safety, you ain't gonna find it here. That's the best I got. But anyway, we're here today to do another episode of this show that nobody tunes into, called Nobody's Safe, where you leave your safety at home because you're not gonna find it here. And I just wing the intro every time because I don't know. I have the memory of a stoner and I don't do drugs. So
Yeah.
don't do drugs.
I have a memory of a memory. That's it.
What? I have a
Season.
memory of a memory? That means I will always remember unless I don't remember.
Yes.
Okay, this is like trying to replay Kingdom Hearts. Alright. Today we don't have that many topics for y'all, so we're going to stretch them out. First topic we're going to talk about is the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now, I know what I'm going to say already, Caesar. So I'm going to let you go first since trailer and I forgot what it is, but it's like Kevin something, some guy on YouTube, he did a more in-depth talk about the Nintendo Switch and like where he think the future for the Nintendo Switch is headed. So, Caesar, you can share your thoughts real quick.
Well, my thoughts when I saw the trailer for the Nintendo Switch Lite, Nano. I'm just still looking at it. What's the difference between the Lite and the Switch and the actual Switch? And I see it that they don't actually have the Switch and it's quite lighter and smaller. And
yeah, it's not that much smaller, probably.
Well, yeah, but the difference is you cannot connect your TV. So it was like, oh, okay. Because I was very concerned, like what's so much better? What or not? I don't want to say better. What's so much different than the actual Switch? And I can see.
Yeah. But you know, out of like all the things they said, like the guy was saying in the video, Kevin, whatever, he was saying that they were working on some type of way for you to switch your experience. So now I got a question, especially him mentioning the PSP. You know how with the PSP you can connect it to your PlayStation 4 and use it as a controller? Are they gonna do something like that with the Nintendo Switch so you could do like the Wii U and for certain games like the Game Pass shows a different image during the screen? Like, are they gonna do some type of things like that? Like, that's what I was wondering, number one. And number two, I think it's good that they put it in dock mode, but bad. Business-wise, that was a genius idea. Now, the Nintendo video game fanboy would have liked it if you were still able to dock it, because then, let's say I break my actual Nintendo Switch. Let's say like I break that actual tablet part. Then guess what? All I gotta do is get a Nintendo Switch Lite. Now I can take it on the go. But if I want to go home, I could just dock it, and now I have 2 Joy-Cons. So like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it would be way cheaper than buying a whole new Switch and another. Like, I already have the previous stuff, so I could just get a replacement Switch. So the fact that you're not able to dock it makes sense. One thing, and like I heard a lot of people get like kind of, hey camera, I heard a lot of people get upset about this, but I don't really know why. A lot of people were upset that when you're using the handheld mode in Switch, you know how it has HD rumble and all of that. So certain games like 1-2 switch and all of that, that's not in there on the mobile one. So I heard a lot of people get upset about that. Like, I like the HD rumble in the mobile version, blah blah blah. But what I think some of those people may not realize is that if they leave the rumble in, that's at least $10 more, because motors ain't cheap. And then you gotta cost of building the motor, paying somebody to press the button so that the machine will build it, or if they, you know, using sweatshots or something, actually build it. Like, there's a lot that goes into all those little pieces. So all those features, those little things that casuals care about, I think it's a good idea that they're doing this in the first place. Hey bro, what you doing?
No, I'm just playing this game and listening to this podcast.
Oh, for real? You listen to podcasts? Which one?
Nobody say podcast.
Hey, did you subscribe yet?
No, I haven't subscribed.
What? Yo, subscriber rated 5 stars right now. Yo.
Jesus, I'm
Yo,
subscribed
man,
now.
take my phone here.
Man, gotta be so rude.
It's number one, because a lot of people are saying they're doing this to market it towards kids and things like that. I don't think that's the case at all, because the DS was marketed towards being a family console that everybody could play. I personally think the Nintendo Switch is trying to give the like, they're trying to run all the other mobile gaming mobile gaming class out of service further, because they did that with their DS. And the Game Boy, they started it, and now they're just keeping the trend going. Because the regular DS, cool.
Okay.
The first 3DS, cool. But then they started just keep 3DS XL, 3DS XL Lite, 3DS. It's a 3DS XL Lite S.
They're going Apple again.
Yeah, it was at the point where it was like, okay, how many different 3DSs do I need? And then a new line of 3DS games, certain 3DS games didn't work with the old 3DS, you had to buy a new 3DS, and then certain old 3DS games didn't work with a new 3DS. Like, it was like, it didn't make sense how much incompatibility it was just to get a larger one that was cheaper than the larger one. Like if you didn't know what I was talking about, you'd be sitting there like, huh? Like a cheaper large one? What? Come again? Did you say that right? Are you having a stroke mid-sentence? It's confusing, because I was legit confused as to why there's so many versions of the 3DS, and they all are 3DSs. So, me personally, I'm glad they're using this Nintendo Switch Lite to kill down the 3DS, because the 3DS has had its run for way too long. It's like, I feel like after a certain amount of time, a game console should die, not in a bad way should die, like as in you weren't getting enough sales, but the console should be preceded by something, because at that point, gaming, like the way controls and gaming work, have stepped it up. They've gotten better. Some features and controllers, the science behind how to make a good controller for people, it's all advanced and gotten better since the last time they've done it. So they need to do something new. For example, let's say the N64. When they went from the N64 to GameCube, the N64 was, I mean, it's nostalgic, but come on, let's be serious. That controller was terrible, with a capital terrible. Like, it was dog doo-doo, because it was hard for you to use all three parts of the system, and the Z button. Oh man, games where you have to use the C stick and still press the Z button, although rare, not non-existent, it was a nightmare. Because there's games like correct me if I'm wrong, comment section, but Sin and Punishment, where you need to use the C stick, but you only press it occasionally, and you still need the Z button and stuff. Like, you use the whole controller when you playing Punishment and Sin, basically. It's like, come on, man, that's impossible. But with the GameCube, if you take all those N64 games and put it on the GameCube, it would work 100% times better. Or if you're using an emulator, nobody uses an emulator for an N64 game with the actual N64 controller because N64 controllers are bad. They may use a game controller because it's the same idea, but better and actually usable. So I think the Nintendo Switch Lite, circling my point back around, is a good advancement to the 3DS. Because let's be real, graphically the 3DS was struggling. Like the 3DS couldn't even go 720. Like it was barely doing 480. Like that's sad. That console came out in like what? So way after 2010. Came out like 2015 and couldn't get past 360. I mean, couldn't get past 480. Like that's sad. Like you can look at a 3D, like a 3DS, put it this far away, and you can still see the pixelation. And the Wii U, a console that came out in like 2013, was in only 720p. Where we had the Xbox 360, they was doing in like 144, they was doing 4K. Like it's stuff like that that makes me say, like, after a while a console should die out. Same thing with the 3DS. Just, you know, let's take the 3DS, let's say you gave us some good memory, Sakurai put a Smash game on you for the sole reason of putting a Smash game on you, and let's huck you in the trash can right next to my non-existent copy of Super Smash Brothers for 3DS.
Okay.
Let's chuck all that in the same trash can.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying. Like, because for me personally, I like the fact that it's killing out the 3DS. And here's something I noticed about Sony that Nintendo is doing right now. That's hilarious. So
what's hilarious?
So if you think about it, most of the time what Sony does, and it is funny, most of the time what Sony does is they let somebody else either come up with the idea, they let them fail with the idea, then Sony swoops in, takes the idea, and they make it good. Nintendo's doing the same thing. Like, for example, PlayStation Network. Xbox, they came up with the idea, they did it. PlayStation was like, the system you make for a consumer is terrible, but guess what? Humans are competitive. Playing online is competitive. They want to compete. You're not always going to have somebody to play, let's say Street Fighter or Call of Duty with. And if you play online, you can run into people better than you. Because maybe grandma's not good at Call of Duty, but that's the only other person in the house and she may not want to play Call of Duty. So if you can play online, then guess what? You can actually find somebody who's good so you can challenge yourself and compete. Or you may just find a bunch of people who suck. Either way, oh, it wasn't even plugged in the whole time. That's hilarious.
Wait, what?
No, my headphone.
Okay.
Either way, point is, you can compete
do all
with
over.
somebody. No, you can compete with somebody who's actually good at the game. Versus, again, like I said, playing grandma who doesn't even know what an X button is by heart. She's, oh, to shoot, I press the right trigger. Okay. Oh man, I want to shoot. Oh, I'm dead already. Okay. Oh, I see you this time. Oh no, that's the left trigger. Oh, hold up. Oh man, I'm dead again. Like that. Like playing in a scenario like that. That's not fun. Like, come on. Like you only play people like that when you're trying to prove. Like, come on.
Me, I rarely look at my controller. I did do it.
Like I do I'm seeing Injustice 2. I just had to yell that out. But I think the Nintendo Switch Lite, I welcome it with open arms, even though I'm not going to get it because I'm going to just get a regular Nintendo Switch. Because I feel like, again, the Nintendo Switch Lite. Oh, and also, you know what I didn't realize because I didn't watch the whole thing the first time? You know that basically this is only going to work with half the games that the Switch comes for, right? Like, it's still early in the catalog and there's still basically one type of Switch. So people, because, and I say that because there's, other than Nintendo, nobody has really been developing games that specifically work in handheld mode. Like they just design their game to work, like to be a good game, and then they release it with Nintendo. They haven't been specifically thinking, okay, this works when you're using a dock, but how well does it work when you're using the Switch on the go? Like they don't think, I gotta design this game so that if said person is, let's say, playing it on a train or playing it in a long car trip with a bunch of car bumps, if I should add rumble or not, if I should make the controls easy or complex, because you know it's portable. What if the car jumps and the Switch jumps out your hand? Do we have something for that? Like stuff like that, and being able to detach the Joy-Cons. And some people have already made bootleg products where it's like you remember back in the day how some cars had DVD players in the back of the seat?
For what console?
It doesn't matter. No, DVD players, like to watch movies.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So
they're blank. They're blank. The discs are blank.
No.
Plastic covers.
No, like what? You remember how? You know, like watching DVDs. Like let's say to watch a movie, you would get an Ice Age CD, so you could watch Ice Age.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the CD player was on the back of the chair or in the roof, so you could watch TV or watch a movie while your parents are driving or whatever. Somebody made that where you strap something to the back of the seat and you could put your Nintendo Switch in it. So while you sitting there, it's strapped to the back of the seat in front of you. It's strapped to the back of the seat in front of you. So while your parents or whatever are driving, you can play the Nintendo Switch, but you don't have to hold it. You can use the actual controller or the Joy-Con. You don't have to hold it. So like still, see the middle, so they can see. What was I saying? Oh, so like you could play it with a controller while you riding or whatever, which I think is a good idea that they do that. That's me personally. And
you mentioned it's gonna be trying to beat mobile. I don't think that's very possible. They're trying to beat mobile.
No, I mean they're trying to.
No, because you said somewhere. You said somewhere.
Yeah, they took over the mobile market. I mean, in terms of like mobile gaming, period. Because you know how before, if you was playing a Nintendo game on your phone, it was through a bootleg emulator that Nintendo did not authorize.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah, now Nintendo, they have a division of Nintendo that they made specifically for making mobile games. So there's gonna be a slew of mobile games for Nintendo. That's why Nintendo, instead of being regular and putting their what you call it, you know how like if on a Nintendo Switch, if you want to do voice phone,
yeah.
That's because looking back at it, that's good and bad. That's good because if you're using the internet on, actually no, never mind. I remember my old point. I remember about that. Because if I'm using my phone, the idea is that it's supposed to be portable. If I'm using my phone, I wouldn't be playing no online games mobile. Like if I'm on a train, I'm not finna play Super Smash Brothers online because first off, Nintendo Online is already trash. That's number one. 2, there's a bunch of people with bad internet connection. 3, I'm using a phone. That's not gonna be that powerful if I'm using a hotspot. Like, you get what I'm saying, but still, like, it's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna play the game. I'll sit there for 10 minutes and then my character just teleports off stage. It's like Brawlhalla. Like, nah. That would be riding into a terrible experience. But enough about my rant. What was I going to say? Because I had a thought about the Switch Lite. I was gonna say.
The last video that we saw.
Oh yeah, I was saying that Nintendo Switch, they have a division of Nintendo specifically for doing mobile games now. That's why the Nintendo Switch thing, that's why it's an app now. That's why they had Mario Run. Like, cause Caesar, most people didn't realize it, but Mario Run, it wasn't bad for a Mario game. Well, let me first say this. Mario Run isn't bad as in it's a terrible unplayable game, but it's bad as in compared to what you're used to, it's way different and it's designed for mobile experience. So when I say bad, I don't mean as in it's a terrible game that's unplayable. I mean bad as in it's way too different for most traditional Mario fans to enjoy. Because you know, people don't like change when it comes to entertainment in the first place. People don't like change in regular life, but then let alone in their entertainment in the first place. What people watching Game of Thrones or Walking Dead, their favorite character died, they go to work depressed. So hey, but I wanna see what they. Oh, that's what I was saying. I was trying to stall for time, but Super Mario Run was really an elaborate beta for Nintendo's mobile games division as a whole, because they were testing out how Nintendo fans would receive a beloved series. Because guess what they're gonna do, Caesar? They're gonna end up putting Zelda on mobile. Like all the old school Nintendo games. Here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go on the Google Play Store, go on the Apple Store. They're gonna take any emulator that emulates NES games. They're gonna do the same thing they did to Emu Paradise. This emulates Nintendo game. We didn't authorize it. Boom, delete it. Boom, get it off the Play Store. Boom, get it off the Play Store. Then they're gonna take all their old school games that people will actually want to buy and put it on the store. Like for example, Mario, like the original Mario, Super Mario Bros. 2, 3, Mario Bros. 6, Super Mario Bros. 6, like all of Mario DS, like all of those, they're gonna put all those games on the Play Store, and they're gonna sell it for like $10 and say, boom, if you wanna play these old games on the go, here you go, play them. So I'm telling you, that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna do the same thing they did to Emu Paradise. We're gonna shut down you. We're gonna shut down you. Anything that emulates NES games, they're gonna go, okay, we didn't approve this, and they using this product to legally let people play our game. Like people don't have to buy the console and the hardware to play the game, which is legal technically. So people are legally playing our games using it.
There you go.
So it's either we Soldier Boy, it's either we go Soldier Boy, do the same thing we did to you, a Soldier Boy, or you take this off the Play Store. Point blank period. So they're gonna take it off the Play Store and the App Store. The App Store is pretty strict about emulators though, compared to Google Play. Because Google Play, they let any old person upload anything. Like literally, if I wanted to, I could make an app where it just plays one song and put it on the Google Play Store as official Nintendo Mario app or something. So the Google Play Store compared to Apple isn't that strict, but still. Google Play Store, they will. Like if a big company comes to them, they will delete your app. Like they'll go, oh, you don't want to delete it? Alright. We'll delete it and ban your account, so we don't have to worry about you putting it back up under this account. Simple as that. So it's either delete it, or we delete you and delete it for you. So I'm just saying, I don't know how this is gonna go with the mobile, with Nintendo mobile, but the Nintendo Switch Lite, I do think that's a good idea. I like the idea, even though I'm not gonna get it. Like,
well, wait. I just want to go back to the whole connection thing. Since they said that it's not going to be connected to the TV, how's it going to work? Is it going to be connected with other switches or other lights?
They said it'll still connect to other switches, but you gotta have separate Joy-Cons.
Okay, I just want to like clarify because the Switch is designed to connect with the TV, and since they said they replaced that, they put that away. I was very confused. How?
You know what they probably did? Well, there's two reasons why it won't be able to connect to them. Making it alone makes it not possible to connect to the Switch, but they don't want you to connect it to the dock anyway. So they probably put a safeguard in there to where if you put your screen in the dock, it doesn't connect to the dock. It just stays on a regular screen and charges like regular, but it won't connect to the TV. That and they're not making it strong enough to be able to run off the Switch and run on the TV perfectly fine. They're making it weaker so that it's cheaper. So it's not gonna be strong enough to be able to be played on the TV. So that's the two ways I know for sure I won't be able to connect to the TV. One is Nintendo. They're gonna put a blockage in it because if they say in the commercial this is not gonna work, that means they made a safeguard. Now sure, there are gonna be nerds who make workarounds and stuff like that, but Nintendo wise, doing it the official Nintendo way, you gotta drop that extra $100 and change and get a regular, well, I would even go so far as to say a real Nintendo Switch. And you know what I think? This is me personally. Nintendo is not the best with naming stuff. Because, for example, a lot of people were saying with Splatoon 2, you know where the TO is at in Splatoon?
Yeah, okay.
They were saying they should have put SPL, the number 2, ON, so Splatoon. Like, get it?
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, with the Nintendo Switch Lite, that's a lot to say. So they should have said the Nintendo Portable, or the Nintendo Stay, or the Nintendo Go. Because Pokemon Go, Nintendo
Switch, it's
Go.
Another portable. It has a lot of features than the Lite. That's another portable. So
it's not that many more features, but you know what? What I think I think Nintendo should have named it the Nintendo Switch Go because it doesn't switch. It only stays because you can't take the Joy-Cons off, so you can't switch the controls. You can connect more controllers, yeah, but you can't switch your controls in terms of taking the Joy-Cons off or leaving them on. That's not an option you have because it's a portable console. It's all integrated. You're not able to switch it from the portable mode to the TV, so it's not really a Nintendo Switch. It's a Nintendo Stay, but it wouldn't make sense to name a Nintendo Stay because it's a portable console. So they should have named it either the Nintendo Portable or the Nintendo Go instead of the Nintendo Switch Lite. Because why am I buying a Nintendo Switch that doesn't switch? If I'm buying the Nintendo Switch for the Switch functionality, it doesn't switch. Why? Why would I get it for the ability to switch and it doesn't switch? I mean, like I said, it is a good idea, but Nintendo's just not the best at naming their stuff. Like, you know how many new Super Mario Bros. There are? There's at least...
How many?
The first new Super Mario Bros. Came out in 2010. It's 2019, and the Mario Bros. They made in 2018 was called New Super Mario Bros. For Nintendo Switch. What? The first new Super Mario Bros. Came out 10 years ago. Then y'all had Galaxy. Then y'all had Sunshine. Then y'all had 3D. Then y'all had Odyssey. Then y'all released new Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. Switch Deluxe. I don't know. It's like a whole It's like a whole long 10-word name. Like, I just wanted to point that out because I think Nintendo is terrible at naming stuff. For example, Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. Ain't nobody got time for all that. Like, oh, what game are you playing? Oh, I'm playing Nintendo Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. Like, nobody wants to say that. That's why people call it Smash 4. But then again, for some odd reason, Sakurai considers the 3DS version is the only game. So, with him keeping in mind that he's considering that very stripped down sideload version, considering that he pretends that that's its own game, he couldn't name like for example what Scott the Wild said was he couldn't name the Wii U version Smash Brothers Dimensions and he couldn't name the Wii U version Smash Brothers Universe and Smash Brothers Dimensions and the 3DS one Dimensions, for example. Like, I get that, but at the same time, it's the same exact game. They just stripped out some features so that it will work on 3DS. It's the same exact game. It's not like the difference between Melee and Brawl where they changed the mechanics of the game entirely. Like, mechanically, the Smash 4 Duo, Ultimate, from Ultimate to Smash 4, there's a lot of changes. From Melee to Smash 4, from Brawl to Ultimate, from Brawl to Smash 64. Like, you can take any of those games in the Direct Smash lineage and compared them, and it's different stuff. Like Smash 4, for example, you can tech as much as you want. In Smash Ultimate, you can tech, but you gotta wait 60 seconds or 60 frames for to be able to tech again. So if you miss your chance to tech or you mess up your tech, that's just your fault. You better have a character with a great recovery, like a Arsene recovery or something, because you to tech in Ultimate, that's it for you. Especially if you tech down. If you tech down off a wall or something, oh Jesus. Let me get my charger real quick. Alright, now that, like, basically any Smash game you pick is way different. Like, the mechanics are different. From Smash 4 Wii U to 3DS, mechanically it's no different. It's just that one is more stripped down. Same thing with the Switch. It's different, but I think that the Nintendo Switch Lite, I think they could have came up with a way better name. Like, there's a lot of names they could have picked that were way better. That's just me. Alright, now moving on to the next topic. So we were talking about how light the Switch is. So now let's talk about how, you know how the Nintendo Switch Lite is portable and you can take it way far from home? Let's talk about Spider-Man Far From Home. That was terrible, but I'ma still rock with it. But Spider-Man Far From Home. Huh?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. So with Spider-Man Far From Home, oh boy. First off, let me start by saying my favorite character in Far From Home is Night Monkey. And my favorite scene is the part where he slapped the kid from Dope, where he slapped him so hard he fell asleep. He was like, yo, give me my glasses back. Oh, Flash Thompson, when he smacked Flash so hard he fell asleep. Like, yo, give me my... That's what I wanted to say, number one. Number two, I know people gonna hate me for saying this, but Spider-Man Far From Home is just meh to me. It's just okay. This is okay. It's nothing special, cause they like with the commercials. I think Marvel need to chill out with their commercials, cause they doing too much. Like, nothing in the movie was a surprise for me, because the whole movie more or less followed the same plot as the comic books, and they kept telling us everything about the movie with the commercials. So my expectations really weren't that high, and my expectations were met. Now, is it a bad movie?
They went Deadpool, the first Deadpool.
Yeah.
You remember, like, they were showing, like, they show about, I think, four trailers.
Yeah.
And
but
they kind of like spoiled the whole movie. They spoiled some of the movie.
But you know what's the difference with Deadpool?
What?
Deadpool isn't a character that they make for story. Like, they don't milk Deadpool because people love Deadpool's story. No, they milk Deadpool because he's a comedian. So it literally doesn't matter what story you do with Deadpool, whether you do an old one or you make a new one up. It's Deadpool. People don't go to see Deadpool because, oh man, I love Deadpool's backstory. Nobody knows Deadpool's backstory really, or cares. They just want to hear Deadpool make a bunch of wiener jokes and stuff. Like, that's all people want to see from Deadpool. So with Deadpool, it's way different because they can do whatever they want. With Spider-Man, you mess up Deadpool's story, nobody cares as long as it's funny. Because if I was a nerd, I could be like, oh my god, this is so wrong, because Deadpool didn't start X-Force. Charles Xavier started X-Force with Wolverine, and X-Force was created because they needed X-Men that were able to do the job no matter what, so they were allowed to kill because the regular X-Men won't, and sometimes their jobs that need killing. Like, I could nerd out and go that far, but it's Deadpool. Who cares?
Oh my gosh.
It's Deadpool. Nobody went to the theater to watch Deadpool be serious. Everybody went to the theater to hear Deadpool make jokes. Like, yeah, now that I cut my hand off and it's smaller, I'm gonna beat off with it. Like, that's what people want.
I get it. Yeah, he's funny, but still, it already showed the jokes, and it's just like, oh, I already heard that from the trailer. Like, that's not funny.
Yeah, it's like it's lost its flavor because it's like all the parts of the movie that people watch Marvel movies for, they already showed. So it's like, why am I still watching this? Like, what's the point of me watching it? I might as well just watch the trailers and just call it a day. Like, it's way less time. I ain't gotta pay to go to the movie theater. Like, that's me personally. My recommendation for Spider-Man Far From Home, and yeah, no spoilers today really, because just watch the trailers and you know the same amount. You know what the movie's about. If you know Mysterio's backstory and you watch the trailers, you yourself could figure out what the movie's about. You don't have to watch it. My recommendation, unless you're gonna see Far From Home in 3D, wait for it to come out in HD bootleg. Like, if you watch movies, not because it's like I want to feel the cinematic experience. If you just watch movies because you want to see the movie, wait till it comes out bootleg. If you want to watch it in 3D, yeah, go to theaters. But if you just watching it just to watch it, no. Till it comes out bootleg. Just wait.
Oh boy. It comes on Netflix. That's it. That's it. Call it.
People who don't like watching in bootleg, wait for Netflix or Fios on demand. Because Fios actually get stuff way before Netflix most of the time, but just wait for it to come out on DVD. I mean, not DVD. Wait for it to come out bootleg. Because I feel like Far From Home, like the only real reason you should get Far From Home on DVD is if you're a nerd and you like all that Marvel, like if you like seeing the deleted scenes and stuff like that. Like if you just want to be able to watch the movie whenever you want, bro, there's a bunch of websites that I shall not name because I'm not getting flagged by YouTube. Like, come on. You know, like, I can't, like, there's no way I can really spoil the movie because Marvel already did it for me. Like, it's no fun spoiling a movie that the company themselves spoiled.
Oh my gosh.
Moving on to a brighter subject, BrightBurn.
Well, I saw the movie and
I saw like 10 seconds of the film and I was so sad that whoever
you saw the movie?
I saw like 5 minutes of the movie and I was like, oh wow, it's like a Marvel movie. It has a lot of action, but the story is hog duty.
What, BrightBurn?
Yeah, that's the one with that's the one where he has Superman like powers and he decides to go evil, right?
Yeah. You know, speaking of that, I thought it was a Superman movie. That's what I thought. Let's think about it. Like, it's about a boy. It's about the story of these parents. Well, they're not actually his biological parents, but some kind of light crashes down, and then they find a small child, which again, it's like Superman, and then they bring it and they raise it, and the child finds out he's from. Well, they don't know where he's from, but so he's not from this Earth. So but it's similar, but he's an evil version of Superman. Yeah.
So,
and I thought it was I thought it was a DC but when I saw the intro, it was actually Sony. So I was like, what? Oh, okay.
You know what's crazy? Because from what I heard, it's basically supposed to be when Superman came to Earth and people found out his story. It's what people thought Superman was gonna be. It's basically them going, okay, if Superman's worst case scenario happened, this is what it would look like. Like if Injustice 2 Superman was like that on Earth. Like the minute he got to Earth, he just went crazy. Like that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that idea doesn't sound interesting because I already played Injustice 2, so I already heard and seen that story. It's like, oh, hey, did you just jaywalk? Yeah, I just jaywalked. Boom, death. Like, oh, hey,
shoot his laser.
Like, did you murder somebody? Like, I already seen that. It's called Injustice.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he's more demonic. He's like a demonic version, like for real.
So like the bait, like you can add all the details you want, but when you boil it down, it's still like it's like sea salt. Whether it comes from Italy, whether it comes from the bottom of the ocean, the top of the ocean, it really doesn't matter. When you boil it down, you're still gonna get sea salt. Same thing with BrightBurn. When you down, if Superman went evil the minute he got here, the movie, the end.
Yeah.
Like, this is not an interesting idea to me personally. Not because it sounds like a bad idea, but because I already seen it. Not like as in I watched the movie, but I seen that idea play out. I already know what that would look like. Whether it's he himself as a criminal, or whether it's demonic possession or whatever, Superman like powers, but evil. Alright, like even if I didn't watch Injustice, I already seen.
Wait, not that he's raised by parents from a farm.
And just like Superman too. Superman he was raised by his parents who found him in a he crashed into a wheat field or whatever, and they found him.
Yeah, like that's like you just boiling all that down like that. That sounds like a Superman story. That's a Superman origin.
Yeah, it's just like Superman, but
Kid has super speed. He flies. He levitates. He's super strong. He shoots lasers. Superman. Like
it's like it's an archetype. Not hard to figure out.
So yep. That's it.
Yep, far from home. Alrighty, guys. This is a nice length podcast, 41 minutes. Probably trim it down to 30 something, then intro and all of that. So yeah, it should round out to about 45 minutes. And also, Caesar, by the way, the part where I say like, hey guys, make sure you like this on Apple Podcasts, I'm gonna pre-record that and I'm gonna put it before. Like the before we start, or like in the I'm gonna put it in the middle, like literally in the exact middle. It's just gonna hit them with that with me saying that. So just so you know.
Okay.
But
are you thinking of just like having somebody else in the podcast? Because I don't know, since Matthew is in here, because
why not? You got somebody?
I don't know. I don't know. Do you have somebody?
I got somebody I can ask.
Oh, I don't know. Just maybe put more time, maybe have more perspective, more views in the podcast.
Alright.
I don't know.
But anyway, my 2 Webtoon recommendations for this week. Now the second one, I don't know if I recommended it, but I'm gonna still say it. Sihloh, that's the one I know I didn't recommend because between the last time I recorded and now is when I found out about it. So I know for sure. Oh, see, I still gotta finish editing the last podcast, and I'm gonna put that out like today or something. By the way, I'm gonna start saying the date that we recorded this in. You know, just for it. We recorded this on Saturday, July the 13th. What else? Oh, my 2 Webtoon recommendations are Sihloh. The links are gonna be in the description. I also have a Webtoon. Link for that's gonna be in the description. Caesar, I also made a new episode. So yeah, you can check that out afterwards. But links for that will be in the description. If you want to watch this on another platform, it'll be in the description as well. But Just Pancakes, I like it because it's a funny comic where what's the way I can summarize it? It follows the story of 2 wizards who are chefs. So basically they're chef wizards and they run a tavern, and it follows their misadventures and their funny shortcomings and working in that working in that tavern, that little tavern. That's the right one. Probably the notification from that now. Nope, sirens in it, which I still haven't started. But in the case that I did recommend that one, Muted. I like that one because it follows the story of a young witch, and the story right now, the author is still introducing the characters and the relationships and the dynamics, but it follows the story of a young witch named not Athleta. I'm not even gonna lie, I forget like all the characters' names when I read comics because I just look at everybody's face. Like it's a whole bunch of comics I could tell you. Oh yeah, I read that. What's the main character's name? Okay, Google. Like, wait, hold up. Oh.
It looks like that device hasn't been set up yet. You can do that in assistant settings.
Oh, Google. But I knew that was gonna happen. But what's that could be on. Oh, I was saying that Muted is a nice comic. It follows the story of a young witch, and she's like, I can't really say nothing without spoiling anything. And I'm not trying to spoil it because it's a comic. They're short and it's worth reading. So yeah. I don't know. I'm tired. My thoughts are.
You're tired?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm tired of thinking about how bad Marvel movies are and how they let the quality just go. This isn't great. Oh my god, what are you doing? Stop. Okay, that was a good movie. Oh my god, stop going downwards. He's going downhill.
It is going Marvel as always.
Yeah, and then Black Panther happened.
Oh. Of course you would say that.
That movie was dog doo-doo. Literally, think of it like this. Literally. Take Black Panther, make him not black. The movie wouldn't have made $1 million. Literally, there were people who...
$1 billion?
My bad. Most of the people who watched Black Panther didn't watch it because they actually cared about Black Panther or let alone superheroes. They literally just watched it because it was Black Panther. That's it. He was playing a character. It was a black guy playing a black character.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, if Black Panther wasn't black, and if they would have presented the idea with, let's say, White Tiger, nobody would watch it. And I'm talking about the original White Tiger, not the second and third one, the Latino and Latino one. I'm talking about the first White Tiger that was just a regular white guy. Like nobody would have cared. They would have been like, oh, White Tiger, oh, some more white Marvel movies or movies with white male roles, whatever. Like, if it wasn't Black Panther, I promise you. Online where they use White Tiger or something like that, that movie super flop. Like, super flop. Because the plot wasn't that good. There was a lot of plot holes, like just left and right. It's like driving down a back street in South Carolina after a hailstorm. It's just a very bumpy ride, but not in a good way. It was more a bumpy ride as in I'm trying to drink this super hot, nice, refreshing coffee and it spills all over my crotch mid-ride. Like that kind of bumpy ride. And then like my kids in the back are using a Nintendo Switch and motion control, so it ended up flinging it at me. Almost took out my eye, broke my windshield, broke the Switch, and now my little child is crying. It was one of those kind of bumpy rides. Like you just want to jump out the car and tuck and roll, but then you know like who's gonna be responsible for the car, and I'm still paying off the lease, so it was more one of those kinds of bumpy rides.
Okay.
But anyway, guys, we're ending the podcast. Every time I forget the outro. Like in the last one, I was sitting there. Every time I would play it, I played it over and over to remember it, and I still can't remember it. So, safety is a non-existent concept on this podcast, and because nobody's safe. Hey.
R.I.P. everyone.
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
Show off.
Alrighty guys, if anybody is able to name this sample in the comment section, I'll pin your comment.